Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about Pau Cubarsí because he has officially renewed his contract with Barcelona, which is absolutely fantastic news. And then as well, we're going to be talking about Deco because he had an extensive interview with Sport, which he talked about a variety of Barcelona topics. He basically talked about everything from Hansi Flick to Xavi to the renewals of certain players to Lamine Yamal to Frankie De Jong. It was absolutely a lot to unpack, and I will be bringing you guys all the quotes from Deco. But as always, guys, make sure to follow me on all of my social media platforms. Everything is posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way, you guys can stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. But guys, let's get started with the video. All right, guys, let's get started with the video and let's talk about Pau Cubarsí, who has officially renewed his contract until 2029. Now, this is absolutely fantastic news because previously Pau Cubarsí, he did extend his contract until 2027, but today he signed a new deal with the club, which extends that all the way to 2029, just giving some Barcelona some more margin. And on top of that, they have renewed what is a pillar in the team. It's only been 1 year since, he basically made his professional debut, if you guys don't remember, in the Copa del Rey last year. And he's been absolutely amazing. And he's been, unmovable in that starting center back position. He's been absolutely fantastic, playing so many games and playing such a key and vital part into Barcelona's defense. And you can see right here a picture between Joan Laporta and Pau Cubarsí as they sign all the paperwork. And man, I absolutely love that photo. And when we see Pau Cubarsí speak, once the club asks him questions, he says, "Everything I've been through has been important experiences, and I'm very happy that they happened. They've helped me a lot, both personally and on the pitch. My family is always by my side, and that's very important to me." He continues on and says, "My goal from the start was to come here, enjoy, and play in this shirt for the club that is considered the best in the world. After that, everything will come as a result of what I do on the pitch. I have all the ambition in the world because this club demands it. We have to win every game and achieve every possible title, and that's what we will try to do." And I love the confidence right there from Pau Cubarsí. And you can see the hunger that he does have. And that's reflective of, his personality as well. Pau Cubarsí, he wants to achieve success and he wants to win every single possible title that there is to win at Barcelona. And that will make us Barcelona fans very, very happy. And when we look at, some other players who have been renewed with the club, the fantastic work that Deco has been doing in these past couple of weeks/months, he has been renewing the pillar of the team, the core as well. He's renewed Pau Cubarsí until 2029, Valle and Marcasolo until 2028, Gavi until 2030 alongside Pedri and alongside Lamine Yamal which is going to be pending, and he also is working on the renewal of Marc Bernal and Fermin Lopez, renewed until 2029. The core being La Masia players, and as well having them secured for many, many more years. And Deco, he is going to be talking about that core because, you could think about how talented Barcelona is right now, but that is not the end goal. This team is super, super young, and they can offer a lot in the future. But talking about Deco, talking about his interview, because it was really a lot. He talks about Barcelona's future. He talks about the team. And he says, "This team will be much stronger in 2 or 3 years. Most of our players are still under 25, and their prime is yet to come. We're already seeing major progress, and the changing coach has helped. But the best is yet to come." That's absolutely the case. It's so inspiring and exciting to know that this core is so young and we're seeing such good performances from the team. And just imagine what a Lamine Yamal, a Pedri, Pau Cubarsí could be doing out on the pitch with a lot more years of experience on their belt. It would be absolutely mind-blowing to the level that they could be actually showcasing. Deco, he talks about his role as sporting director. He says, there was a lot of skepticism when I arrived, and I understand that, but my job isn't about making noise, it's about making the right decisions. I stay grounded, avoid rush choices, and focus on long-term success. Football changes fast, so we must stay adaptable. He talks about signing players and says we don't want players who just want to play for Barca. We want players who want to succeed at Barca. The difference is huge. We need ambition, hunger, and commitment to take this club forward. And I could not agree more with Deco right there. You want players who are committed to the project, who want to have success at Barcelona, and don't view the club as just another job, as a paycheck. No, you want players who bleed for the jersey, who have a love for the club, because those are the type of players that will stay through the thick and thin when Barcelona are not performing well, when things are hitting the fan, and when Barcelona they need players to show that loyalty and to show the commitment. I'm absolutely 100% on board right there with Deco. He talks about the current team and says the team is showing great signs, but we must stay cautious. The season is long and challenges will come. However, the feeling within the squad is exciting and we're heading in the right direction. Absolutely. The team isn't the finished product. Barcelona, they've been given some very, very good sensations and feelings throughout the season, but everything is not done. Barcelona, right now, we've only won one trophy, being the Supercopa de España in that dominant 5-2 victory over Real Madrid, but we're still competing for La Liga, we're still competing for the UCL, and we're still competing for the Copa del Rey. Barcelona, they have to realize that the season is long and that it's going to be a very difficult season in order to win silverware. But we go into that final stretch of the season with confidence and with enthusiasm. But Hansi Flick, no, I mean, right now, Deco, he talks about Hansi Flick, about the contract renewal, and he says, we've won the title, we're playing well, and the feeling is positive. When a project works, renewal is a natural step, but right now, it's not the priority. Things are on the right track, and we're happy with the progress. If the time comes, we'll discuss it, but there's no rush. And that's in regards to potential Hansi Flick contract renewal. After some rumors have emerged that Hansi Flick and the club, they are, looking for renewal. And I think that's going to be the next step, as Deco has mentioned in this quote, if Barcelona, they are able to close out the season with success. But even, for example, if Barcelona, we add one more trophy and, don't maybe add, I still view the season as a positive. Barcelona had been showing much more out onto the pitch, and with a couple of new signings, I do think that this Barcelona team can be elevated to a whole new level. Deco, he talks about Hansi Flick's impact, and he says Flick's arrival has been a real boost for the team. His tactical flexibility and attacking style are making a difference. The squad believes in his ideas, and we're seeing that reflected in our performances. This is the football Barca fans love to see. 100% agree. He continues to talk about the contract talks with Flick. He says, here everything moves too fast. One moment it's euphoria, the next despair. Right now we're focused on the present. Flick is doing a great job and we're happy with him. If renewal talks happen, they will happen naturally at the right time. And I do think it's a right idea not to rush things or just put pressure on those renewal talks. Because if Barcelona, for example, if they have a repeat of the months of November and December, touching wood that doesn't happen, things can completely do a 180 and change it basically overnight, and that's the world of football. Things happen so fast that, good sensations could be happening one day, and then the next day you could be feeling, as Deco says right here, despair. He talks about the club's vision. He says, the most important thing is that we have a clear project. We want to keep improving, keep competing, and keep giving fans the best version of Barca. Stability and progress are key, and that's what we're working on every day. He talks about the fans' expectations. He says Barca members want to see good football, a competitive team, and a clear direction. We're committed to delivering that. We've taken positive steps, and there's still a lot of work to do, but we're moving forward with confidence. And I love the words that Deco is saying. I don't think he said one thing that I disagree with, or I see that one thing is controversial. I think Deco right here is just saying all the right things, and he's analyzed Barcelona in the perfect situation. He's analyzed it perfectly. He understands that Barcelona, we are, showing good football. We are a competitive team. We are moving under the right direction under Hansi Flick, but there's still work to be done. There's still things to be doing to improve the squad, and not everything is finalized. And talking about coaches, he talks about Xavi. He talks about his departure. And he says, Xavi's exit was not easy. He won a league and took charge during a difficult period for the club. But last season was tough in every sense, and we decided a change was the best option for Barca. He talks about whether he regrets the decision in regards to Xavi. It says, I don't regret anything. I always speak honestly and say what I believe at the time. Xavi is a friend, a legend, and one of the most important figures in Barca's history, but football sometimes forces difficult decisions. And he talks about the coaching transition. It says, Xavi was the first to announce his departure before changing his mind, which created a complicated situation. But in the end, the decision was made on everything that happened. It wasn't just my call. Many factors played a role. And he talks about choosing Hansi Flick. And he says, when Xabi first announced he was leaving, it was my responsibility to be prepared with a new coach. Flick was always our first option. And once the decision was final, we moved forward with him. And so right there, you see that the confidence in Hansi Flick was 100%. And we always knew that. We always knew, for example, that Hansi Flick, he was going to be that number one option if Xavi were to leave. But we all know that how the Xavi departure was or unfolded was horribly mismanaged. But I want to give the importance that of Xavi's work during his early tenure and throughout his time at Barcelona, because as Deco said, he came in during a very difficult period and he just stabilized the ship. He got Barcelona winning the league title, we won the Supercopa de España, and he basically stabilized the club, in which we have to be honest, guys, we were in our worst period in Barcelona history overall. Fighting in the Europa League, not competing against any of the big teams, and just overall having a poor squad. Xavi and the Barcelona board and Joan Laporta's board, they done a fantastic job of moving Barcelona towards the right direction. And guys, I'm gonna be honest, I have been critical of Xavi and Deco, but as always, one of the things that we have to do is give praise for when they do things correctly. We always see sometimes, let's say, criticize some of the decisions that was made last summer for the lack of planning, for some of the decisions that have been made, the Vitor Roque signing as well. But when people do well, we have to give praise for that. I do give praise for Xavi, for his tenure, and for Deco. As I said, I have been critical. But right now, he's hitting everything on the head. He has been able to reinforce Barcelona's squad. And when we talk about reinforcing Barcelona's core squad and renewing them, we have to talk about Frankie de Jong, because Deco, he talks about Frankie de Jong's future. And he says, Frankie is a great footballer, and my opinion of him hasn't changed. His frustration over not winning enough titles is a good sign. It shows his hunger to achieve more with Barca. That's exactly the mentality we want in our players. 100% true. He talks about his contract renewal, and he says his contract runs until 2026, and his renewal will be discussed in due time. Right now, he's performing at a high level, and that's what matters most. We want players who want to win titles, not just be at Barca. And once again, Deco is hitting the nail on the head. And in regards to Frankie de Jong, we have to see how this whole contract renewal develops, because we do know, or we've read the reports saying how Frankie de Jong, he would be looking to renew under his terms. Is that still the case? Or would Frankie de Jong be willing to massively lower his salary in order to, as Deco said, win titles at Barcelona and succeed here? And Deco, he moves on. He talks about the squad mentality. It says, every player in their squad today shares the dream of winning with Barca. That's the profile we seek. Players who are ambitious, committed, and are ready to fight for success. And, looking at these quotes, guys, it's everything. It's perfect. He's saying everything that needs to be said. All the players, they're showing that ambition, they're showing the hunger, and I couldn't agree more with what Deco is saying. And the last quote that I do want to bring you guys from Deco is in regards to Lamine Yamal. And this is the most extensive, because he talks about Lamine Yamal's future. It says, Lamine is one of our own, like Gavi and Pau Cubarsí. There's no better place for him to be than Barca. He's happy here with his family and friends. Our job is to keep him that way and secure his future. He's priceless. We won't listen to offers. And right there, that is the key sentence, the key statement from that quote. Barcelona, under no circumstances, will be selling Lamine Yamal, and I praise that. Lamine Yamal, he's been showing some of the best football that we have been seeing, right now in the world of football. And even that, looking at his age, being 17 years of age, guys, that's absurd. He's one of the best players in the world. Ridiculous. But Deco, he continues on. He talks about the winter January transfer market and the squad building. He says, our priority is building a team that competes at the highest level, not just making signings. Renewing key players like Pedri, Gavi, and Araujo is crucial for Barca's future. The winter market is tough. Top players aren't usually available. Rashford was mentioned, but we weren't desperate as key players were returning and others hitting top form. So even Deco, he talks about Rashford, and that gives me the indication that Rashford, he was an actual possibility. But the thing was, obviously, we didn't have that space in the salary in order to bring on a player such as Rashford. That's completely understandable. In the one-to-one rule, we would have to have a player leave in order to have a player come in. Deco, he talks about the Dani Olmo and Pau Victor case, which didn't, give the best reputation for Barcelona. And he says, I suffered because of the responsibility. Signing a player isn't like shopping on the supermarket. For Dani, I spoke with his family, his agent. We took risks. Pau Victor fought to come, and not playing is tough. The situation wasn't easy. And so right there, he talks about it. He says, hey, I sort of messed up. I take some responsibility right there. He says we took some risks, and thankfully the Danny Olmo situation, it was sort of resolved in a good manner. But we don't want a repeat of that. A lot of Barcelona, or a lot of players in the world of football, they dream of coming to Barcelona, and if they do have that dream of coming, we want to make sure they're actually able to play and wear and don the jersey, and be out on the pitch. If they're not registered, then they won't be able to do that. Deco, he talks about Araujo's future, and he says, I didn't have to convince him. Players want to win, and Ronald has had doubts. I told him this team would prove it. It can fight for big things. We never wanted to sell him. I believe he'll stay because he sees the project's ambition. And I genuinely think that 5-2 victory over Real Madrid, it really, really helped, because I believe that Ronald Araujo, he was much closer to leaving and joining Juventus than staying, prior to that dominant Barcelona victory over Real Madrid. I think that really helped Araujo in making that decision and just adding that silverware. And hopefully we have a Ronald Araujo partnership with Pau Cubarsí for many, many years to come, and he is able to recover his best level, because at his best level, he's one of the best center backs in the world. Deco, he now talks about Koundé and Inigo's future. It says Koundé has a contract until 2027, and we're calm about his situation. He's key to our long-term project, and we'll discuss renewal at the right time. As for Inigo, he has a clause he could activate, but we've been clear. He's a leader, and we want him next season. In regards to Inigo, we all know he's going to be renewing for one more season. In regards to Jules Koundé, he's been one of the best signings that Barcelona have made in the last couple of years. He's been absolutely solid in every single game that he has been able to play. And Deco, talking about that, he's going to be looking for an extension. He's going to be looking for a renewal, and that is something that we have to get over the line, renewing Barcelona's core and renewing those players who are performing well. Deco, he now talks about Lewandowski and Eric Garcia, and it says Lewandowski has a contract and we want him to stay. He's a world-class player, deeply involved, and talks about the future here. As for Eric Garcia, he's matured a lot at Girona and has a year left on his contract. We value him, but renewal talks will happen at the right time. Good news in regards to both players. He talks about Rafinha, who's right now has been absolutely amazing, one of the best players in the world, and genuinely having a run for that Ballon d'Or. And he says football is passionate and sometimes unfair. Rafinha had a great first season, but last year was tough for many. People speculated, but I always believed losing him would weaken the team. He has power, maturity, and the right age to contribute. Now with confidence and the right positioning, he's showing his best. And I will be honest, guys, I was very critical of Rafinha. I was on the boat of saying, hey, if a good offer arrives for Rafinha, let's say 80, 90, 100 million, let's sell him. But right now, Rafinha, he is shutting everyone up. Right now, Rafinha, he is arguably one of the best players in the world, if not the best, just by the numbers that he's putting up, the contributions as well in those matches. He's been absolutely stellar. And the last quote from Deco that I do want to talk to you guys about is in regards to Barcelona's objectives. It says Barcelona must fight to win every title. We're in the Champions League last 16, the Cup semifinals, and just 2 points off the league leaders. Competing for trophies is in this club's DNA, and that's the statement that I want to leave you guys off with. Barcelona, they're going to be fighting and going to be aiming to win every single possible title, and that should be the goal of this team. Barcelona right now, they are absolutely still alive in every single competition, and we want to have success and end the season off as we have imagined, and we would like to end it off with silverware. But guys, it was a very long video. I talked a lot about Deco as he talked about a variety of Barcelona topics. Let me know your guys' thoughts about everything that I have discussed on today's video, from Pau Cubarsí's extension to Deco's words to him renewing the core of Barcelona's squad. And as always, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.